What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see behind me, we got something else in the shop today. We're going to be doing a little bit of air ride maintenance on it, looking over it, seeing if need anything else. We might change up some water traps, what else, a few bolts here and there, but let's get into it. Stay tuned. So as you can see, he's already got a fuel cell in there. He's running 1/2-inch valves. It goes up and down pretty quick. He's a smart guy, got a fire extinguisher in there. But this is a project. It is a work in progress, so under construction. He wants me to look over some of the stuff on the rear end. He knows that it is going on the channel, so he doesn't care about any of that. It's got a pretty good sounding 350 in it with a little bit of punch. It's punched out a little bit, so it's like a 355, I believe. Painless wiring system, I believe he's doing on it. I think he's got some 22s on there. I like the truck personally. I mean, I drive it just like this. But we're gonna be doing a few things to it here and there. He's seen that hey, what's going on? He's seen that I do a few things here and there on the channel, and he just wanted me to look over it for him. I mean, it's nothing big. Just gonna do like a leak down test on it and fix all of the leaks. I know that there's in the front, which is real fun, which I don't have the truck lifted up right now, but on these trucks, the airbag stuff is inside of that. So I'm gonna have to drop the top plate to get to the fitting, because I know it's leaking in there. I can hear it when we had it up on the lift checking it out. But water. What is up, guys? So we are currently working on the C10. One issue that I had found with the water trap is the water trap's fine, but let me set you down real quick. Sorry. So one of the issues that I'm having is so in order to, I found a leak, which both of them are leaking in the same spot. So he's got this double male end right here, which is too short. Common mistake, it happens. So what I'm gonna do is just get 2 more males that are longer. Honestly, it doesn't matter how much longer they are, because it is sticking. Go to the other side real quick. So the other side, it's already still mounted. Both sides are leaking right in here. You can see that it's super short. So if I get at least another inch longer, it's not gonna affect anything out here. He has nothing in the way. So also, one thing that I've noticed, which I'm not like pointing out or saying it's wrong or whatever, but if you look in here, there's like an ungodly amount of Loctite on everything, which not a bad deal. That can fail though, so I'm gonna put Teflon tape on this stuff. I mean, I've never really had an issue with Teflon tape, but I'm gonna do that, change all this out, at least these 2 things for now, and then I'm gonna air the truck back up, and then we'll do another leak down test on it. So I've already done this side. I got some brass fittings to go in between here, because remember we had an issue with it being too short. I also got one that was like a longer thread. It's definitely gonna work out a lot better for this. I'm gonna grab a wrench real quick. Already taped up the air compressor line. This is for the other side. Whoa, that's for the other side. Now after we're done tightening this all up, we're gonna do a leak test again once I get the other side going. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think that his pressure switch is shutting off. There is a gauge in there, but I don't know how accurate it is. I may switch out his pressure switch or just check the wiring and see where or how it's wired up. He does have it on a switch. You don't want to get this stuff too tight. You want to get it tight and just snug it up, because you can actually create a leak if you over tighten it. I'm just taking my time on it. I'd say that's pretty tight. Now we're going to jump to the other side and do the same thing. Put our little brass union in, male end, and we'll be right back. Fire this thing up. Going to be a cold start on it, so it might be cold-blooded. See how she does. Up a bit, let the compressor cycle, hit that. He's got a 180 pressure switch in there, so we're gonna let that thing run. I'm gonna try to see if it's gonna shut off. He did mention to me that sometimes they can't get it to shut off, but I'm gonna just let it run and see what happens. He's got a gauge, so we'll just keep an eye on that, and we'll be right back once the tank fills up. You can hear it's pretty choppy. I love the sound of this truck. Okay, so the pressure switch does work. I just think his gauge is off about 20 pounds. And now we're gonna be spraying it down with some soapy water. I do hear some leaks in it somewhere, so let's just find them. I don't have enough soapy water in it. Oh, there's one right there. So we'll tighten that up. Come over to this side. Sure. Need some more soap in my. Sorry, I did find more leaks in the water traps after I put those unions in. So eventually I just bypassed the water traps and just hooked the compressors directly into the tank for now, and we will get back to that issue later. Alright guys, so what I'm going to end up doing, there was still a leak, so I'm gonna actually take these water traps off for now, and I'll inspect them on the bench, and maybe there's a crushed thread or something, but we're still getting a leak. I do have thicker like the gray thread tape, so I'm gonna inspect the threads, and then I'm gonna also change the thread tape. Maybe there was a crushed thread in there from somebody trying to do this before, I don't know. So all right guys, so we are in the front of the truck, driver's front. I noticed that we could hear a leak in it, probably where the fitting's at going through. We are going to be taking off the upper bag plate that's just bolt on, a couple of 9/16 bolts and nuts that hold that top plate on. If you look in here, you can see it. There's one right there, one a little bit further back on the front, one over here, and then one on the other side as well. So there's only 4, and these are floating cups, so they just sit down in the pocket. Maybe eventually in the future he'll want to change that up and get a different lower control arm, but for now we're just going to try to fix the leaks. Whoa. So yesterday I ended up eliminating the water traps, and for now, because I'm getting past that. We know it leaks there. I'll deal with that later. I'm just trying to move on and move forward with checking for all the leaks. I got some bump stops in. We're gonna be doing some little custom brackets off the C-notch. He said he wants it to not hit the C-notch. I guess there might be some axle slap, but we'll look into that in a little bit. So for now, I'm just gonna take all this stuff off, get to that fitting, and then probably take it off and then re-thread tape it. I don't know what it looks like until I get in there, but let's get into it. Now we're over here on the front, the very front side. We got one back here, one up here. After that, we should be good to go with dropping the bag in the top bag bracket plate. I do have the, if you can see right here, I have a 2x4 kind of pushing this up a little bit in order to get into this area right here. But I mean, most of these, if it's a bolt-on kit, they're all pretty much the same. I do know that you have to drill holes for all of this stuff. It's not factory, so I'm just gonna take these off and we'll get to it. Alright guys, so now that we are all unbolted, as you can see that the plate is loose. I can probably see why it is all leaking, because it's in a bind. Here, I'm gonna try to get the camera in there. It's gonna be hard to see, but you can see that the push to connect and the straight is kind of in a bind. Now I know that the what do you want to call it, where the airline comes in straight through the top, he has a straight in here, and I can see that it's kind of cockeyed a little bit, so they definitely don't like that. I possibly may put a 90 in this and just drill a hole in the back side of this. Not gonna hurt nothing, just so the airline can go through it, and make it a little easier on the stress of the 1/2-inch line to the fitting. So I got the bag kind of kicked sideways right now. I'm gonna take off this bottom cup and get it out of our way so we can lower the rest of it down, so I can release that push to connect. And once I get it out, I'll show you how it's in a bind. So the thing that we're gonna do right now, it definitely needs some grade 8s in here. I love using grade 8s on anything like this. There we go. See how it just dropped down out of place? Now I'm gonna bring the camera in here. I don't even have to pull that out to show you. So if you can see, not sure what happened to the camera right there, but anyways, I got it all out. See how this line is kind of kinked and bent like that? This is one of the reasons what creates a leak. It was in here like this. And I'm gonna try to show you a little bit better. The connect is like this, and see how it's bent like straight out of it? The line does not like that. So if it's leaning any way at all, you're definitely gonna get a leak in that. So I'm gonna somehow try to position this or just recut this line so it is straight, because you can see that there's a kink in it right here. I'm gonna cut it past that so we can get a nice and straight piece going right down in the quick push connect. Simple fix. So what I went ahead and did was got new batteries for the GoPro. I'm glad that that fixed the issue, because that was annoying. But I'm gonna come in here and take out all the airline. I already see where all the rest of the stuff is at, so I'm just gonna replace this airline real quick, and hopefully this will fix his issue. I know it was that airline kind of kinking in the fitting. I have a different type of airline, so maybe this will help. We shall see.
The number you have dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message after the beep.
That was about a pain in the ass. There's one clamp, airline clamp. These are good to use. I love using them. It was positioned pretty much right underneath the bed where you had to only use a wrench. So that was a pain in the ass. It was probably put on before the bed was put on, so I mean, it is what it is. Now I'm going to, is that another one? Okay, no, that's just a bed fold. Take this line out. I'm glad it's a push connect and not a collet. I hate the collets personally. I mean, some people might love them, but I hate them. And replace this line. I'm glad that the exhaust is not hot, because it would definitely not be fun trying to get this out. But I am having an issue with it being so tight in here that it might be hard to get it to release. There we go. Got it to release. Out with the old. Alright guys, we're put out with the old, in with the new. Damn hula hoop shit. One thing I do recommend is always cutting a straight edge on your airline. I mean, like I had this in the garage. Obviously it's been wound up. They like it to stay like that, but fresh new cut every time. You want to make sure it's nice and flat. Push connects, definitely make sure it's flat. I mean, just rule of thumb, always make it flat. But when you put it in the fitting, if it's not straight, it definitely doesn't like that, so get it straight. These little handy cutters come in very often. Very handy, my bad. You know what I mean. So let's feed this one in, get it in its new home, and then we'll run the line to the front and give myself a little bit extra just in case, which it is. I do have like a foot extra. Make sure it's in there. There we go. Now we're gonna run this way, up and over the body mounts. along the frame rail, and I won't get it nice and snug with that. I'm just gonna give myself a little extra room. Might smack the camera with this, but I don't even need this light. I did so you all can see my pretty face. Oh, and speaking about pretty face, if you like the hats and the shirts, we got them on the website. Support the channel. We just shipped out another kit to Canada, if you follow my stories, and another Fantini kit to Texas. I got one left on the website currently as this video is being recorded, so only one more is up for grabs, and then I'm gonna have to put another order in with Tony. We sell them like hotcakes, so check out the website. They're always in stock and out of stock here and there. Longest thing I have to do is just wait for the shipping. But let's get back to the truck. Kids are out riding the quad. They got the week off. Let's see. That one's there. So alright, now we got the airline ran all along the frame. We're gonna come in here. Let me move the camera. We're gonna come in here and put this airline through the top. As you can see with the light, see the hole? That's where we're gonna feed it through. And then we're probably gonna cut it enough that we can use our airline to not kink it. That's why I'm gonna try to give myself a little bit more line. That way it's not at such a drastic bend right here. I see the headers right here, but I'm gonna have to keep it out of the way of the steering. I mean, it can come up and over and whoosh, just like that. Whoa. And then hopefully that will fix the front leak. So we are going to be doing that. I already shoved it in there, cut the line. Let's get it connected into this bag real quick, nice and straight. It's happy there. Okay. So we do have extra line right here. I am gonna feed it down. You see it looping up. I'm gonna feed it back that way a little bit. I can cut the end of it off on the other end, but I want this end to be happy. So we're going to throw this back in and get this positioned up just where it was, which I'm gonna have to come in here and put my bottom bracket on, cup. Trying to be right terms here, so everyone's like, no, that's not what it's called. Come on, there we go. All right, guys, as we finish tightening this stuff up, hopefully this will take care of all the leaks. From what I can see, this is the last leak that there is, from what I can see. I'm just working on one at a time, and I'm not sure if the other side is leaking at all, but I'm gonna do, basically I'm gonna let the truck warm up, fill up the tank again, and or see if we still have air in the tank. Get this all nice and snug. These all got lock washers on them and stuff, and go from there. I am gonna have to trim out, like I said, some of this extra, but I wanted to make sure that this thing was nice and snug in there where it wants to be. Hopefully, cross your fingers, no leaks now, but it's easy to just cut the other end off, slide this through. So did a air up test. We are leaking at this fitting right here. Let me get you in here, sorry about that.
leaking at this fitting, which the fitting's leaking, not the airline. And then we got one more leak, damn camera, right here at the tank. And after that, I think that's all the leaks we have to fix on this guy. All right, so we're in the cab now, and we're going to be switching from this style AVS box with the little toggles to a 9 switch, which is way better with the rockers. 100%, this is the box to go, the go-to AVS. Shout out. If you see this, send me something. Just kidding. So what I'm gonna start off with, this box has a little brain and it's labeled with everything on it. So it's super simple to hook this up. And basically I already got it ground, and I'm trying to find the hot wire. That way it can start. There it is right there, which is usually is a pink wire. Now he has some wiring going on in here. I'm gonna disconnect the switch box. This side is for the switches, and just this power is hooked up to the other side, which is the switch box. I'm just gonna snip this out, give myself just enough wire that I can use for the brain for the other box, and then we're gonna start touching switches to the control panel for that 9 switch, and switch it over for him. And where did my cutters go? This switch box is out. Just had that one wire. I mean, you could use that as a backup, but those switches, he already had one that was all sticky on it. I mean, I wouldn't recommend those. That 9 switch is the way to go. Now, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a tiny little screwdriver. As you can see, it takes a real small screwdriver flathead to put these in. Got our power wire in, and this calls for a ground, so we're gonna have to ground it. I'll do that last though. Actually, I can't. I have to do it first, because that's how we're gonna test where we're gonna put this stuff on for the switches. They are labeled on this plug end. Actually, yeah, that's what I think I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna cut this tape. I don't know if you can see it down here. There's some tape on here, some heat shrink. I'm gonna cut this back, since he's not gonna use this anymore. I'm gonna give him enough length that if he ever has to, he still has this pigtail end for that other switch box. There's already nice connections down here from the valves to this. See that little blue stuff down here? They are labeled, so I mean, like, if they're in the wrong spot, I'll just move them around to the right one, because that switch box was kind of janky. Like, it had the fronts in a weird spot and all of it in a weird spot. The only one that worked right was the pancake up and down. So we're definitely gonna fix that for him. And I need a blade, but I think I'm laying on the bench because this steering wheel is right in my way. Would it be easier if I took the seat out? Yeah, but you don't have to. I'm just gonna cut this right here. That way I have enough of this line that he could splice back into it if he ever needed to. Okay, now that all of these are out, they do have labels on them, but I'm not sure which one goes where. I'm sure if I looked up the diagram and stuff for this, I could figure it out, but we don't know if that's true or not. Basically what I'm gonna do is hook up the ground to this box and hold one of the switches and touch it until I figure out which one's which, and that's how we're gonna set it up. All right, so I found a wire that we can use for the ground. I'm just gonna temporarily put it right here on the dash, but I'll move it as we're testing all this shit out. I don't have a long power wire, so that's not gonna help. Stick that ground in there. And one rule of thumb, I see a lot of the wiring that's coming from the back, it's all red. Don't do that. Nobody likes that, especially if someone else is going to work on it later on down the road. I had that issue with the Toyota on the last video. Almost all the wires were red. None of them were changed. So like the ground, I'd change it to a yellow. I mean, that's what I had available. That's what I'm using. You know how I roll. Work with what you have. Why not? And that dash should be ground because this is an older vehicle, so we don't got to worry about the plastic shit. Alright. I may have to put some air in the tank to figure out which one's which, so I'm going to do that real quick. I'm not going to bore you with hearing the compressors. About 80, 100 pounds in the tank. I'm going to start with front driver's side up. So left up is 1, 2. Left up is number 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, once we start touching the buttons, we'll know which one's which. This is a long process. Can be a long process, put it that way. But I'm just gonna, obviously 4 are up and 4 are down, and that's all you need. Again, this is a valve setup, so I mean really this is what we're gonna find out, where the location is on the switch box. There's 2 different wires, looms right here. So technically, I'm just gonna cut one and figure out what it is. It's either gonna go up or it's gonna go down. I don't really need the screwdriver yet, because then we could just touch the wires and that'll tell us where it's gonna go. So I'm just gonna hold up. I can hear it doing something, but I don't hear none of the bags doing anything. Or the valves, I should say. I hear that box clicking. Oh, it might be locked. The box might be locked, actually. Good thing I got the keys right here. This does have a lock on the back. The mosquitoes are crazy right now. We'll figure out what this is. Go ahead. Oh. Not sure what the hell's going on here. We got ground. So, good old test light. That's a ground. So I'm gonna hook this up to something hot, and that's how we're gonna tell what is what. So we know that this wire right here is hot, constant power. What do I do with my screwdriver? And when we touch it to it, it should do something to, actually, unless they should be. So all the valves should be ground. That's how I would do it. I just grounded in one spot. You don't need 20 fucking grounds. We know that that's hot, so that's live right there. So whatever that white wire is, it should yeah. What about these ones? All of these are hot. Okay, so now what I gotta figure out is which end of the valve we have on. So like I said, there's two separate ones. We'll try this side real quick. The wires coming from the back are white, green, red, and black. I have no idea what that means because I didn't wire this truck up. But if I have to, I'll chase all that stuff back. That's our ground. 12-volt power is right here. Now the box should be hot. I'm not sure why it's not communicating with it. Okay. When I touch that to it, fucking mosquitoes, dude. There we go. Are we in the right spot here? I might take that ground off, and it has a ground, but I'm not sure if I have to have that on there. That may be one of the issues that we're having. Take that ground off. Well, that definitely did something. Where's the switch box at? That was a up. So all four of these should be up. I don't know what it was, but it was up. I think it was in the back. No. Not sure what's going on with this thing. On that one right there, it's wanting to click it every time. So I need to count these and make sure that I'm in the right spot. 1, 2, 3. There's 12 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we have it in the right spot. So I'm not sure what's going on here. We'll be right back. I'm going to try to find the diagram. Alright, I think we figured it out. I had the box locked for one. That was my problem. My stupidity. Good thing we kept the keys around. Now we got right rear working. now we can move forward from here. So I did figure out that the same color wire that's coming from the valves matches the other side. Well, it did on this first one, so we'll try it on the next one. Green with green. So green should be up, or green should be another bag, and we will find out right now. On this side, I found out which side was the dump, which side was the pump, and now we got to figure out what bag this one is. I'm just gonna touch it. I'm gonna hold forward up. So that was the, which one is that? Nope. Don't know what that green one goes to. I think that was the front right, I think. So green. So we need the green on this side, and that should lower whatever one we did with power. If I can get it stripped. So yeah, I think it's the front right. I'm gonna hit that again with a power and see what side goes up. Yep, front right. So purple is up, front right up, number 7. Get screwdriver, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The other side was down, so front down, right front down is number 8. Okay, got that one going. I'm just going to continue the process and get this all wired in. Just touching them. Both of them have to be hooked up for it to work on the switch box. I just found that out. So just letting you guys know ahead of time, this is a little bit of a timely process. But once it's all hooked up, you'll never have to mess with it again. And we'll be right back once we're done hooking up the whole switch box. I only got 4 more wires to do, so it won't be that long.
All right, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. This video on the C10. We established the new AVS switch box, which works great. I also got all the leaks done. I highly recommend you do not use pipe dope for airline. No. Basically, every time I would get the leak fixed, I'd put Teflon tape around it, I'd find another leak in the pipe dope. So do not use that. I don't care what anyone's telling you. Do not use that. It's not meant. I don't think it's rated for 200 psi. Either. Anyways, so the next video we will be doing, if you tune into the channel, I'm going to be doing the pinion angle fix on the rear end on this. Just installing, cutting the old purchase off, setting the pinion angle, and putting new purchase on. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys want to support the channel, I know I've said it a couple times in this video, hit up the website. We got new shirts. I actually just designed up 2 new shirts. There'll be 4 new shirts on by the end of this weekend, which is the end of February. So check out the website, jfab-minitrucks.com, if you want to support the channel. I'm trying to keep up on these videos. I've been working on this truck for maybe a week and a half. I just do it on the side, so sorry for the late post or upload of the video. Sorry it's taking so long, but stay tuned as we have a few more things coming up on the channel. Also, I hid an Easter egg in this video, so if you see it, the first 5 people that comment what it is, I will send you out a t-shirt with that on it. So stay watching videos, because I only put it up for like a second. I mean, you got to find it. Just remember, guys, dreams are only fantasy if you're not willing to put in the work, and we will catch you on the next one.